This video is for anyone who has followed me for a while, who fits one or more of the following criteria, and who would be interested in joining a group that I'm putting together. The criteria. One, you are an accredited investor. This means in the United States that you make at least $200,000 per year by yourself or $300,000 per year with your spouse, or you have a net worth of $1 million or more. The second criteria, and this is an or situation, so or your business that you own makes $1 million or more per year gross, or you have donated $100,000 or more in the past 5 years. Any or all of those, if that is you, please continue watching. If you'd like to just see how I do this and you're not in those categories, please feel free. So, first thing I'm going to tell you is that I'm calling out the very people that I'm inviting to interview and apply for this membership. I could open it up to a wider group of people, but if I did that, it would not hold true to what I'm trying to build with this particular product. So I am going to leave some money on the table in order to very specifically curate this group in a way that I have envisioned that will be very beneficial to the group itself. I also, and this is for anyone watching to understand, I also give a lot of free, very high quality business advice away through my YouTube channel, which has more than 800 long form videos, like the one you're watching, and through my Your First 5K membership, which is free to join, and my lower ticket things that are $400 and less that are extremely deep dive and thousands of people have made their first dollar online learning from. This is for people who are more seasoned, more experienced, have had more success. And it's very plain. I'm going to show you what it is and kind of walk you through the invite page that I actually have not shown anybody except for the people I've invited. So this is going to be pretty cool. And what I've launched is a membership. I am sunsetting my inner circle membership at the end of this year. And I love that group. I will continue to work with that group in its own special way. Even after I sunset it, we'll do some cool stuff together. This is for people, as I said before, maybe you sold a company, maybe you are getting ready to sell a company, maybe you've made a few real estate investments or put a few $100,000 to work in the stock market. This is going to be really beneficial to you. So I'm going to share with you what's going on. And I'm going to just walk you through it as if we were on a call together. Now, if you would like to get on a call with me to interview and apply for this founding member role, then I will have the link below in the description and the pinned comment. It is a paid program. Okay, and we'll talk about that in a moment here. You'll see it. Okay, so the idea of this is earn, invest, give, and play. And when I say this, I mean earn more because I think we should all have more resources to do everything else with, no matter how successful we are. Invest more. I've invested in more than 200 companies and I've raised more than $30 million to put towards that effort over the past 12 years now. And investing is a big part of my identity. A lot of us want to invest for impact, and I have found that way to invest for impact while making money. And so I know that some people may have already dabbled in the stock market, but they have not invested as an angel investor, for instance, in startups, and they may be interested in my method there. The third is give more. So my mother and I have donated about approximately $1 million over the past 6 or 7 years into mostly scholarships. And these would be for Black students, for women students, and more. We helped someone go through pilot school. So now a Black woman is a pilot in Europe because of the work we did with her. We helped put someone through Harvard Law, a Black man through Harvard Law, and so on and so forth. And I know that when you have some success, a lot of times you want to do something wise with the nonprofit side of things, philanthropic side of things, but you're not exactly sure what to do. And you may not even know that you can have your own family nonprofit and go through that. So I will have tax experts and people can help you through this sort of wealth building and wealth distribution. And then play. A lot of times I notice that people who have made it to a certain point, have a certain degree of success, are used to having a lot of responsibility in life. And we don't always get to play, and we think we'll play later. Today has to be later because none of it is promised to us. So that I will show you in a minute what that means, but that is a huge, huge part of what we're doing. So build more wealth, gain access to better opportunities, and use your success to create meaningful impact alongside a curated circle of ambitious people doing the same. Then there's a video from me, and this particular video is after you've had a call with me and I've invited you. So I'm actually showing you behind the curtain right now. This is a note after I've invited you. You must have a call with me or know me already to get that invite. And then you can go ahead and secure your seat by making payment. You can wire or you can do online payment, and I'll show you that price in a moment. Then there's a letter from me to that person who I invited, which you can probably pause and read. And then the benefits, what the membership includes. So you'll have invites to monthly in real life meetings with me. And what I mean by that is, I'll give you an example. We just booked a suite at one of the LA Sparks games coming up in just a few days, and we'll have a suite for this group. I just booked a suite at Intuit for Kaylani. Kaylani is performing at a big arena, one of the newest arenas here in September in Los Angeles. I just booked a suite for this group, and this group will be able to go to it if they want to. We'll be doing some things on the East Coast. We'll be doing some things in London, potentially in Paris. There's something that's tentative in Paris that once you're a member, you go in and you decide and you RSVP to say, yes, I want to show interest. And then depending on how many people say yes, we might do that. And that's a really fun thing if it happens. Also have another concert up in Ojai that I will be taking a luxury shuttle from Los Angeles up there with this group. And there's some lunches, dinners, and then there is a full-on workshop, which is a wealth building workshop that we're having. So there's a ton, and there's at least one thing per month that you're invited to. Of course, if you cannot make it or do not wish to travel, that is all optional. We'll have a lot of things also with video that you can look at and some live online virtual sessions. Exclusive expert and celebrity guests. I have a really, really cool group of people who I get to work with and behind the scenes. And most times I don't even tell you about it as someone who watches my YouTube channel or is part of my membership because it doesn't come up in conversation. But there's some really interesting people that I get to work with, speak with, etc. I'll be inviting them in to have virtual talks with us and to have in person and like hang with us in person. Virtual curriculum and member collaboration so that there is a full training that will be on demand. It's very, very, very high level, very, very valuable training that will come from some of these expert guests and some from me, and really talking about the 4 pillars we were talking about before, especially the 3 pillars of earn more, invest more, give more. My deal room. So this is where I get a lot of allocation into special deals. Now, I have my Backstage Capital Venture Fund, and this is not associated with that. But when I have personal allocation into a deal, or one of the deals that I have with our portfolio at Backstage, where I'm given more allocation to invest, but I don't have, the $1 million that they want, that they want to give me to invest, I will open that up to this group. And as you see here, some of my previous investments include, they're more than 200, but one includes OpenAI direct on the cap table. Another is a private AI infrastructure company led by a Black founder. We invested in 2017 into their very first round, and that already has a 60x value and growing. So I definitely have always had really great deal flow. And now it's just like I have to turn down so many things because I just simply don't have enough to say yes to them all. But we're talking very, very cool ones. Now, I'm not yeah, I'm not saying that I am going to start a fund here where you pay me and I invest. I'm just simply going to show you what I'm investing in and give you access to the founders, and you all can have a conversation about that. So I think it's really cool. I'm not going to be making any extra money from that. I'm just going to be bringing you into some of my deals as they come up. Philanthropic strategies and opportunities. This one's really cool. So it's kind of the same thing with investing. I get a lot of interesting deal flow when it comes to philanthropic efforts. And we not only will you get education around it and access to potentially vendors and things like that, but you can just see what I'm putting my money behind, or what I'm being shown. Invites to concert suites, courtside seats, cruises, and more. So most of these will not cost you extra. All you have to do is get yourself to the location and you'll be my guest as space allows. And that's what's going to make this really, really special because we'll get to spend a lot of quality time together. Like I said, it will be a lot of it will be in LA, but some of it will be on the East Coast. Some will be in Texas. Some will be in Chicago. Some will be London, Paris, potentially Paris. I just had I'm speaking in Portland in September, so I'll probably do a dinner there, etc. And this group will be the first group, that I put together, and it'll be a private meetup, whatever we do, even if I do something more public. So that's going to be fun. And then these suites and courtside seats and yes, cruises. That's something that I started with Inner Circle. So when and if I do this, I will invite Inner Circle members to it. But this group, this private group, will essentially be able to spend some very quality time with me in a mastermind while we're on a cruise. You can bring your family, etc. I might do a couple of these per year. And then there's a bonus. So there is a brand new version of Authority X Pro. If you're familiar with my AI, my most sophisticated AI ever, we have the personal version, we have the certified version, and this group only will get the platinum version with client workspaces and more. And the platinum version will also have investing help. So that's going to be really, really cool. So that is a little bit of what's included. It's not everything, but it's what I want to show publicly. And then I'm going to show you a little bit of this, a couple of videos, just so you can see as if you're watching this on your own. And
The Robin Hood of venture capital.
It's about a woman who went from homeless to venture capital.
I felt that even if I wasn't the one who made it happen, even if I wasn't there with it, that it still needed to be there. So that moment really taught me go all in, and you have to try. So that's the day that I decided, okay, have no money, ran out of food stamps, barely have a place to stay, but I'm gonna raise millions of dollars for underrepresented, underestimated founders. And not only that, I'm going to invest in 100 companies within 5 years or so. And ended up getting to that goal, that milestone, in 3 years instead of 5. I grew up in Dallas, Texas. I was born in Jackson, Mississippi.
So that video is available there. I will continue here. You see my technical difficulties, but we keep it rolling. So then if I go back down, there's a second video that you can see there. I'll open that too, just so you can see just a little bit of it.
Mark Cuban invested $6 million into my fund. And when I asked him why, I said, why did you invest in my fund when you don't like to invest in other people's funds? You like to do it directly. He said, you will be in rooms that I'll never be in. Wow. And that really solidified that thesis.
Now, how do you, so he said, Mark Cuban said to you, you'll be in rooms that I won't ever be in. How do you then determine who you will now help?
Yes. Well, first of all, I think of it as...
Because everybody in here ready to raise their hand right now.
Yes. Well, so I'm still a venture capitalist, so I only invest in less than 1% of what...
So I'll go on to explain that. Now, is this room for you? I'll tell you one thing, if you kept watching this video even through the technical issues, and you either fast forwarded to get here or you just kept watching, probably is a good sign, because you'll be able to roll with me and be flexible and see how the messy middle stuff, right? Now, I'm going to show you this checklist, and I think this is super, super important. Super important. Okay, so a candid look at who this room is and isn't for. If it sounds like you're in the right place. So future members should be accomplished, already successful in one of the following: business, career, investing, leadership, or a specialized field or more. Respected by your peers and trusted in their industry. Past the beginner stage. This is not a group for beginners. I have many of those, all of those groups that I have, in fact, are mainly for beginners. This is not. Financially capable, earning strong six figures, building a valuable company, or holding meaningful assets. Is that you? Able to make a $10,000 to $25,000 investment without financial distress. We're going to be making investments together. We're going to be going on trips together. If it causes you stress to even see these numbers on the screen, it's not for you. But if it's something like, yeah, you know what, I do make investments in myself, or I travel quite a bit, this is worth it. I still care where I put my money, but this is not going to cause me any distress. Interested in increasing income, ownership, and net worth. Ambitious. Still wants more even after achieving success. Believes their work and biggest opportunities are ahead. Wants to build more authority. Generous. Willing to share knowledge, opportunities, and insights. Interested in helping other members succeed. Cares about impact. Emotionally mature, please. Able to disagree respectfully. I hope that we have many, many great, deep conversations with our time together, with us, you and me, and with others in the room, and you when you're on excursions. And I hope that it can be a respectful disagreement if one comes up. Comfortable around people with different backgrounds, beliefs, and levels of wealth. Okay? Discreet with private information. We're going to be talking about real things. We'll be talking about money, our wealth, our access to resources. We'll be talking about the things that aren't going well, the things that have happened in our lives. So we need to have discretion. Aligned with the full philosophy of the group or the club. Wants to earn more, wants to invest intelligently, wants to give meaningfully. A future member should make the room more intelligent, more generous, more connected, more interesting, more financially powerful, more enjoyable, and more trustworthy. Is that you? Does that feel like you? And I don't need you to comment. If you want to, you certainly can, but I don't need you to. Just come to this page and you'll know if it's for you. And I'll put a link to book a call with me, actually. Okay. That's the checklist. Now, the cost for founding members, which is the first 30 members, and we've already had members join in the last few days, which is awesome, is $10,000 for the year. This will go up by $5,000 after we reach 30 members. And then I wanted to show you something. So this is really important to me. I've mentioned this a few times because I need you to hear it. I do not want you doing this or trying to do this if it's going to cause you emotional, financial stress. There's just no good reason for that. There are so many other opportunities to work with me that do not cost this amount. And in fact, this is a $25,000 plus group that will be that amount starting in a few months for people who join later. You'll get locked into this rate, whatever rate you come in on. So one of the things I have here that I don't think you're going to see in many places is a resource guide that tells you how to talk to one of three people in your life before you make this decision and payment. Because also, after we have our call, you might be excited, and I want you to be excited, but I also don't want you to have any buyer's remorse. So I'm just, if anything, watch what I do, not just what I say. This is really important. So most people who get on the call with me, and I hope all of the people who get on the call with me, do not book a call if you cannot make an autonomous decision about money in your life. That's the kind of person who should be on the call. But even with that, you may want to talk to a financial advisor. And if you do, I have written the letter for you. I've been invited to join a private membership. The membership fee is $10,000. This is not an investment, security, or guaranteed income opportunity. Before I pay, I'd like your perspective on whether this expense is appropriate based on my current financial position. If you have a financial advisor, you probably should be in my group. You know what I'm saying? But that's if you want to send to them. Let's say you have a spouse. This is the biggest case. I want to do this, but I need to talk it over with my spouse. This is the letter you can give your spouse, or you can read from it in front of them so that you all can consider whether paying $10,000 fits comfortably within your current finances, whether it would affect any important household goals, saving plans, etc. And then there's a third one, which is my favorite, which is a note to myself. I may not need to talk it over with anyone. I may not have a spouse or have shared finances with my spouse. Like my spouse and I do not share our finances officially. So my wife can do whatever she wants with her money, and I can do whatever I want with my money. But if you want to just talk it over, you have the spouse letter. If you just want to make the decision for yourself, but you need a gut check, let's say you make a lot of financial decisions that come back to haunt you, even though you have the resources. This is a good gut check letter. A note to myself before joining. I have been invited to this group. And then it says, I will be joining for the relationships, not guaranteed income. Before paying, I want to confirm that I can afford this. I understand that no income, return, investment, or business result is guaranteed. I'm joining because I value community and so on. And then you make that decision, even can sign it for yourself if you want. It's copyable, so you can put it as a page here. So this, I really wanted this here because I think it's the right thing to do. And I would want someone else looking out for me if possible. And then there's some FAQs here. Is this for a year? The rate you're seeing is for a full year of access, and you lock in that rate even when the price goes up for new members, because it will, by $5,000 each time. How many members are there? The founding group will be 30 members with plans to expand beyond that. And we already have members who have started in the last few days. Is this for women only? No, all genders are welcome. If the group is anything like previous high intention groups of mine, it will most likely be 5 to 10% men. In addition, some of our guest experts are men. Will all events be West Coast based? That was something someone asked. No. Overall, there will be a variety of events, small like dinners and workshops, medium like concerts and sports suites, and large like conferences. These will be around the United States and sometimes outside the US, like London, Paris, parts of Canada, potentially. The first 3 events on our schedule are in Los Angeles, but more will be added. Okay, so that is what's going on. This is if you know the group Chief, if you've ever heard of Chief, if you ever heard of Hampton, there are a lot of old school, like these are the more, the newer ones. There are a lot of old school members only things. I'm a member of Soho House. I'm a member of PS Salon at the LAX airport and ATL in Miami. These are the types of things that we're talking about. And this one's very special because there's nobody else in the world who can do this particular one because of the intersectionalities and all of that and all of the experience that I've had and the work that I've done. And I can't wait. This is the type of thing where each new member makes it better. That's very cool. That is very cool. And being very intentional. You must have a call with me, at least in these early days for the founding members. Every founding member must have a call with me. And I think you should only book a call if you are prepared to pay that amount same day. And if this excites you, if this is an exciting video, come to me. If it's a FOMO video where you're like, oh man, I really wish I could do it, I just don't think I can afford it, don't do it. Do not book that call. It's not worth it because you have so many other ways to work with me. This is just not the right vehicle for you. This is my most, I guess, intimate and highest proximity group club that I will have. And it's very special. And I know it can feel exciting. If this is right for you, if you heard yourself here, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you are a founder who is doing really well, you're a consultant, you are an author, etc., and are a musician, sometimes there most likely there will be at least one celebrity type that joins because that's just kind of who that's I have them in my ecosystem. And if you are this type of person, but you just don't feel like the current memberships you're in or clubs you're in uh, kind of hit on these pillars that we've talked about in some way, I want you to come and join because I think it's going to be very transformative for you. And I've had a lot of these things like one off, like I'll have conversations with people and help them through things, or I'll do a retreat, a quiet retreat and work with 6 people at a time. This is going to be year round. You don't have to go to everything. You don't have to even look online at everything, but there's going to be 1 or 2 things that happen: collaboration, partnership, something you learn, some vendor that you meet, some person who is doing something you want to do and they already figured it all out, and you have one dinner conversation with them and it changes everything. Something's going to happen if you're at this place. I just have seen it happen over and over and over again. I've worked with hundreds, if not thousands, of limited partners, people who are millionaires and billionaires. So I've seen it. I've seen it happen in action. This is like being in the room every single day. So I'm so happy to tell you about it. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. If you have a question, if you want to apply, go ahead and book a call and come to your call. If you don't come to your call and you don't give me warning, that's not a good sign. So you can book a call. Something happens, life happens. Just send me an email. Let me know you're not going to make it. All right. I'll see you very soon. Thanks for listening.